Great to see everybody. Obviously, today being Tuesday, a voting day, an NCAA day off. Our guys have done a great job of, go back. Let me step back. In 2020, our players were 100% in registering to vote. And Daryl Blastock is our player development guy and also works with SAC within our university, our athletes. So 100% of William Mary athletes were registered to vote. And what that means is from the 2020 national election that today's election day is that those student athletes were available to get absentee ballots to send home, whether they're in-state or out-of-state, to find out where their local voting places are. And so through the efforts of, making sure that, we are students, we're athletes, but through the efforts of a lot of good people, the ability to recognize, we understand what the day means. We know that we have a game to play, but at the same time, the ability for our student athletes here at William & Mary to have registered, to have the opportunity to still vote, whether you're here on campus and you're out of state, the absentee ballots, or where to go, how to facilitate your civic duty has been expressed, in a very positive way here. So that's the beginning. And as we talk about the upcoming game against Delaware, it's a very, very good football team of a lot of familiar people that I know. We were very fortunate and did a great job with this past game against Villanova. I thought we played well up front on both sides, offensive, defensive line wise. We did a good job in converting third downs, fourth down situations. We did a good job of holding them, in their third down situations. So we got better, and that's the goal. The goal every week is to get better, but also knowing that as you get better, the margin for errors when you're playing good teams becomes lesser and lesser. And when you go up to Delaware and play a good football team that was nationally ranked, got their quarterback hurt, but the quarterback they have now is doing well, and the rest of the team is still there and they're doing well. They play a physical style of football, and so our work is cut out for us, but look forward to the challenge of playing, one of the best of the best in the CAA, and see kind of where we are again. I mean, we want to use a measuring stick to see how much we've improved and where we need to go. But the most important game for us is this week, right now, against Delaware. As a coach, like you say, he's taught that. But I know Coach Carter, the D-line coach, has done a good job with him, but a lot of it is innate ability. A lot of it is the drills. A lot of it are the things that when he sees himself in that position to do on just, on an intuition or just do because he's repped that so many times. And Nate has done a good job of identifying the opportunities to secure the quarterback, but then where the ball is, and then the ability to try to strip the ball from the quarterback's hand. You want to get a sack, but obviously at every level, particularly in the NFL level, you want to create the strip sack opportunities. And I think just the awareness of it, the ball awareness, is something that Nate has a keen ability to do, and he's demonstrated, in a lot of games. Dave, I knew going into the season, one of the strengths for our team was the offensive line. You look at the guys like Andrew Trainer and Ripley and Colby Slorsdale and all those guys. And so the ability to run the ball starts with guys up front. And then I looked at the skill set that we have at running back. And there's several guys that have different skill sets, but when you're running behind a productive, efficient, a strong offensive line and an experienced offensive line, then you feel good about it. So as the season has gone on and you identified what your early strengths were, and it comes to fruition that is one of our strengths, because the run game is something that we've done thus far that have been productive, then you look at the success of those, not just the guys that are blocking, but also the guys that are running. And, Dave, the last 6-7 games here, we have not had the starting five be the same, for each game because of whether it was injury or contact tracing or something. So what I do know about the offensive line is they're a group of resilient guys who truly the next man up mentality has been displayed at that particular group. It's been that way for our whole team, but specifically because of different guys being out and having to move a true freshman, Charles Grant, over to play left tackle against a really good opponent. As well, welcome to college football, Charles. But our guys have adapted to that, and that's been really neat to watch their development, but also the success of the running game. Like I said, we still got the most important game up, which is this game coming up to continue that. And but that's got to be something we do, and it's a staple. Well, Coach Dowling, who's our pass game coordinator, obviously played the game at a high level and has coached the safeties, is coaching the safeties and the corners with help from Coach Mike Marquez. But what they've done a great job on is anticipating the long arm separation. It's coach talk to, if the quarterback's looking a certain way, he takes his hand off the football, odds are that's probably where he's going to throw the ball. And our guys have done a great job anticipating that. And when you see the success of it, the other part is to catch it. There's been a couple that we hit our hands and not held on to, but just as much as it is an anticipating throw, it's critically important to finish the act, and that's to catch it. And our guys have done a really good job of that. They practice it. It's drilled. And it's one of the things that you do if you want to be a good defense is to create the opportunities to create those turnovers. And like I said, they've done it when the ball's been in the air. To us, it's not significant at the point because it's about where you are at the end. Human nature is to look at it and say, okay, you were this, you were that, they were this. But, we just feel that we're in a position that we got to continue to keep earning respect as a school that has guys that want to accomplish high things in the classroom, but also can be tough and aggressive on the football field. And so the only way you get it is you earn it. And the only way you look at the stats and where you are is at the end. And so, looking right now is not of an issue where we are right now. The issue is going to be, where are we after we finish playing the games that are left on our regular season schedule? This team is fully aware of what's being said and what's out there and, implications of the rankings. But, we're playing for a measured amount of being a tough football team, even though we embrace the fact that we're at a great academic institution, that the two can coexist. And so where the rankings are right now, that's not of a concern to us. It's now getting ready to play a really tough, physical Delaware football team. Well, Dave, that's a great point. What we talk about is the reality of the moment. And you're right. They've not experienced that at this moment, but when we've had success against, good football teams, you've demonstrated that you can play all three levels at a high level, then the purpose is getting better, getting ready and getting better to play for the next opponent. And so we're truly focused on the fact that Delaware was a nationally ranked team, and they're still a really, really good football team. And how do we measure ourselves against them? And so if you're successful, then everybody else will talk about it. We'll tell you how good you are. If you listen to it, then you can succumb to listening to all that talk. The thing that these guys want to do is just get better as a football team. Don't care who gets the credit. Know that you can, play a physical brand of football and then go to class and do what you need to do in the classroom and chase, a degree that's commensurate with a William & Mary experience. And so having not been there before, Dave, that's one thing. The goal for any program, as you know, if you know me over the years, is to build a program to get to that point, to get to that level. And, right now, we all hear, we all see what's going on, but we haven't done anything yet, and that's the thing, is staying humble, keeping the ears low to the ground. And then when it's all said and done, we'll see where we are afterwards. I know they do know we were picked to finish 11th. That's a number that they know. And, that's something that, that travels with us. And I remind them of often, but you can change that. And hopefully as we continue to keep moving forward here, we'll change where we ultimately finish. I had a chance to meet Christian at, trying to remember the national convention where we obviously could all meet in face to face, person to person. But I met with him earlier on, and as I do with a lot of coaches, when you're a head coach, you just want to make sure, particularly at a national convention where there's coaches around that I know guys that have gone to school here, that have expressed interest in the past, but we didn't have any vacancies. And so he was on the radar early, but as things went on, it just became apparent through having conversations, with Coach Laycock, because that was a guy that could attest to who Christian was and is. It was important. But the most important thing to me, and I knew that he was going to be the right guy, is that as we were talking, more about the specifics of the position, he said, well, Coach, hey, whatever you guys are calling the particular schemes and things like that, instead of me coming in and taking my system, everybody learning my system, I'll come in and learn what you guys call it and see how it fits what I was doing. And so the terminology and things like that I will adapt, meaning he will adapt. And Gordy Samus is our run game coordinator, and I think the relationship between those two things worked out, where the language that we were using, the concepts and things like that would be similar, so our guys could understand it and know it, and Christian would learn the verbiage and things like that. So when we started talking about things like that, then I knew that he was going to be the guy, and that truly wanted to make it work. And thus far it's worked very well.